When I found you, I saw raw, untamed,
mediocrity,
and beyond that, something truly
average,
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
I think we can all agree.
Great, guys. So, are we doing a whole little special Twitch to commentate on Fringe's placements?
Well, we'll discuss that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and welcome to episode 95 of the Gankbush podcast. I'm your host, Fringe Average. For those of you who are listening for the first time ever, we are the only explicit Heroes of the Storm podcasts where all the different co-hosts represent different play levels, all the way from a bronze type player all the way up to a grandmaster level player, and up to a HEC coach. We bring you the latest hot news and discuss the latest tips and strategies so that you can become a better player. So let's go ahead and introduce Tyra Baron, who's calling in from San Diego, California.
What's up, Fringe?
How's it going?
Good to be here in the Nexus.
Where were you born?
I was born in the darkness. You have merely adopted to it.
I think you mean bronze, but yeah. All right.
One second.
Why are the glasses coming off of this? What the hell's he doing?
Take the mask off.
Oh, the beard's removed. That's why he freaking.
Now he's Gandalf.
Oh.
He's not Gandalf anymore.
I don't have a beard anymore.
Oh God!
Yeah.
All of that was just for the beard reveal.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the reveal.
Yeah, the bearded Geddon's over.
No longer looking like a bum.
Yeah. No
The
more trash can
Gandalf meme
fires.
is dead, and also one of my segments now is outdated. Even before I show it to you guys, damn it!
Nice.
All right. Let's go ahead and introduce our platinum level player. That is Old Backpack, who's calling in from Abu Dhabi.
Howdy, y'all. Good to be here.
All right, let's go ahead and introduce our master level player. That is Scott, who's calling in from San Francisco, California.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Spent a decent amount of time playing Hero League and was playing Team League too, and some guy asked me to join his team. But so he wanted me to like play in a tournament this weekend, and I don't know if it was like chair league or like was it like amateur, but I don't have time for that.
What was it, a good proposition?
I mean, the guy's pretty good. I've been playing with him. He's hitting Grandmaster in Team League this season, and I've played a decent amount of games with him in Team League this season. Well, I played like 8 games with him, but.
So your story is you played with a rando. They invited you to a tournament, and you said no. That's the story.
Yeah. Well, my story was I got invited to play in a tournament.
So okay,
that's how my weekend hots has gone.
You're supposed to say yes, you go to the tournament and win it.
Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and introduce our Grandmaster level player. That is Bacon, who's calling in from Buford, Georgia.
Hello, good to be in the Nexus. I haven't had time to grind Hero League much. I feel bad, but I will definitely obtain GM again. Hopefully, maybe.
Yeah, okay. When are we updating all these rankings? There's a lot of people here ranked higher than they should.
Yeah, how about next episode? That's the next Well, no, in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Then my placements will be done. in 2 weeks.
Exactly. I
2
was
weeks.
gonna say that.
Or 2 weeks,
Okay.
it's going to be 3 weeks because 2 weeks from now, you're just going to be playing the placements the day after the podcast.
3
Well,
episodes.
wait, no. Oh, yeah, 2 weeks should be fine.
Yeah.
Whenever Matt updates his ranking, I'll update everyone else's.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, lastly, we are joined by a HTC coach for one of the NA teams, and who again is lowering his standards by joining us for the third or fourth time. That is HeroPhysio, who's calling in from Saskatoon, Canada.
Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
That's the province.
Yeah. Thanks for having me again. Can't believe I'm here again. Again.
We love you.
Yeah.
You almost
You're always
said
one of our
no,
best
so I
guests.
don't know why you were
I almost
saying
said
that, huh?
So-
It's always a good time. Always a good time.
So how's it going, HeroPhysio?
It's been good. It's been busy. I've been playing tons of unranked. That new patch drop, so I've been, spamming all the heroes all over again. Everyone's practicing, so HGC is right around the corner. Overwatch League just started up, but we've still got our eyes on that January 19th. That's our first match.
Yeah. So what are you doing in preparation for that day right now with your team?
Getting my team to eat as much broccoli as possible.
Oh.
Sprouts, sir. Sprouts, not broccoli.
Oh, I know a guy. He recently
know a guy.
doubled his
No,
capacity.
I heard
Double
they
the
were
yield.
really good. No, the guys are playing a lot. I mean, they're ramping up their play time. We've got a couple scrims coming up. We know who we're playing in advance. A lot of it's figuring out this new patch. This is fairly new. I mean, whatever we were practicing on before, it's all slightly changed now. So we just have to go back and reevaluate, make sure it's all still working.
Okay. All right.
Is
Well,
this
again,
the
thank you
patch?
for.
Is today's this? I'm sorry. Is this week's patch the patch that HGC is going to start with?
It'll be Blaze patch, Blaze disabled, and then the week after, Blaze is in.
Okay.
So the first week you're playing on the old patch.
Nope. Blaze patch,
Without Blaze.
Blaze
Blaze.
patch, but without Blaze. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. right.
So New Mouth is in.
And all these laning changes too.
Yeah, and the stronger towers.
Okay. All right. Well, again, thank you for joining us again and lowering your standards. So let's go ahead quickly with the Content Hub stuff. So, again, we stream every Wednesday, sometimes at 9 p.m. Eastern on Twitch. If you listen to us on iTunes or Stitcher, please subscribe and/or rate and review us. If you have any friends who play HOTS and listen to podcasts, please spread the word. That'd be awesome. Also, if you want to play with us, please go to the channel Win Time in BNet. One word, Win Time. Also, we have a Discord channel. You can go there too. If you have any emails, please email us at podcast@gankbushsquad.com. Also, we have a Patreon. If you want to go there and help support us, please subscribe. Also, we have a YouTube channel where the VODs for the video of the show goes, probably like today or the next following day. Also, you can find a link to all of the content hubs that I just described at gankbushsquad.com. You'll find links to all of those content hubs. Also, you'll find the music of the show. And this week we're using a band from Minnesota called Cat Bath. And the songs are from the record called It's Bath Time. And made me laugh because they have cats on their logo. So
Shout out to all the new faces on Discord. There's been a number of people joining the channel in the last week or so.
And
Yeah,
you
yeah.
forgot
Drop some
to mention-
names. Let's drop some names then.
Drop names. Okay, there's M4 choking.
okay, let's not drop
Yeah.
names. That's
I know,
really
right?
boring. So let's get on.
No, you forgot to mention the Friday Feed Fest. Friday's 8:00. That's when we all play together for custom games. The 5v5s.
Oh yeah. So we do play with the Gankbush squad. Well, actually, with probably just me. Anyway, we do Friday Feed Fest Friday nights and Sunday nights apparently now. That's springing up where we all play 5v5s against each other. So that's fun.
At Friday 8:00, 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Pacific or is it Eastern?
Yeah, Pacific.
Yeah,
Pacific?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I forget. Just
Say-
play.
Yeah, that's
Pacific.
a 3-hour difference.
Yeah, it matters a lot.
Get that.
I think it's 8 p.m.
Pacific.
Pacific Standard Time.
Specific.
Pacific.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So so a quick little bit of housekeeping about what's been going on since the last show. So basically, I will be streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow at 5:30 on the Gankbush Squad channel. So there's that.
Did you see someone made a countdown timer? Like on
Yes,
the
I saw
Discord?
that.
I
Yeah,
think
That was hilarious.
So it's so again I'll be streaming on the Gankbush channel at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Now Chair League, we had another sign up, so we actually have 9, maybe 10 now, people that want to play Chair League with us. So Taraban has said that he wants to have his own team. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm willing to be on someone else's team or have my own. Either way works.
It'd be the Tower
Tower
Barons.
Barons.
Yeah, it'd be the Tower Barons.
Totally cool with that.
Okay.
Awesome name.
So once Chair League announces its schedule for play dates and stuff like that, then we'll formally create a teams and stuff like that, and we'll move forward with that. So that's pretty cool. We actually get 2 teams potentially this year. So also with one thing we're going to be doing, or that I'll be doing, is that I'll be creating more content for our Patreon supporters. So one idea, actually I'm open to ideas for content. So one idea I had was to do videos where I do the tier rankings for every patch. So, or maybe I'll just include more of the bloopers for on the Patreon page as well. So if you have any ideas, please just hit me up on Discord or Twitter.
I have an idea.
Okay.
We will have your other Hero League games streamed only to Patreon supporters beyond the placements.
How do you stream that without them knowing it?
Well, I don't know. You find a way to make your Hero League games after the placements
Well,
only viewable to
instead
Patreon
of
supporters.
streaming it, you can record it locally and upload it to YouTube.
Yes.
That's true. Let's
I'm
make it-
Yeah.
not going to do that. After these 10 are done, I'm done for this season.
But, I mean, clearly your placements have drew more interest than anything else we've ever done on this show.
Take
Well,
one for the
see-
team, Fringe.
No, we'll see if people show up and watch. I think people just want to troll us. Okay.
Of course.
Us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Us.
Why are you trying to avoid the
100%.
troll?
100%.
Embrace it.
These are our fans. They're all trolls.
Oh,
So
by
moving
the
on.
way, when he starts streaming at Gankbush Squad, 8:30 Pacific Time, Thursday, the 11th or the 18th, I'll also be restreaming that stream with some play-by-play commentary. We'll bring in people that want to talk trash or,
Okay. So
and that'll be
everyone
on
go
Bacon
to-
Huts.
Yeah, everyone go to the Discord channel and just go to Discord and you'll find links to where Bacon's Twitch is and stuff like that. So if you want to participate in whatever, you're welcome. But I implore you not to watch. You're better off doing anything else with your time than watching me play badly at Hero League.
Yeah, and it's 5:30 Pacific. Bacon said. I think
So by show of
yeah,
hands, who's going to be there? Like, I'm going to be there.
When I get back from work, I'll be there. So I'll get the second half of that maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So, all right. Lastly, we're going to be participating in the Creators of the Storm tournament on February 24th at 1 p.m. Eastern, and this is going to be the second iteration of that, where all the teams will be comprised of other content creators. So, for example, we'll be there. Well, Bacon and Scott will be there. HeroPhysio will be casting some of it.
I think so.
Oh, okay, I just made that up. I have no idea.
Nice.
I don't even know
No,
what day
he's
that is.
he's officially
Maybe.
representing Gankbush along with Scott and I.
Yeah. So, but the Nexus Trolls were putting it on, and there'll be someone from the Geeks of Azeroth, from the Lagging Balls podcast, and a host of other content creators too will be in this tournament. So, just set your calendars for that. And also, it's going to be Blizzard has given their thumbs up to the tournament, so they'll help promote it, I guess. I don't know like the lawyerly thing to say, but they're down with it and they'll give out codes, I think. So there you go. There's that. All right, so there you go. So we actually have a good show for you. So this show is going to be a little bit different than other shows, because we're going to do a team fight spotlight, then we're going to do a draft analysis segment. Then we're gonna do the 2017 Bronze Baron Bushies. Okay.
Yeah.
BBBs.
BBBs.
And then we'll do an iTunes review. Then we'll have some email questions to answer, and then we'll talk about, if we have time, the changes that got pushed to the live server on Tuesday. So yeah, all right. So let's do it. So let's move on with the team fight spotlight.
Yeah. 1 second while I get that ready. So
Okay. So yeah.
here's the
Set
clip.
up the
So there's a Ragnaros, right? And he finishes off the Cassia, right? And now it's a 1v1 situation with the Ragnaros and the Tonbarian.
Hey, this is
Wait, what?
this is not a team fight.
Yeah, there's an ETC
is
that
very
just
important.
spawned. There's an ETC that just spawned and is running to help the friendly Ragnaros. They're both 10% HP. And look,
No. Oh.
and I want to highlight the lack of anything that the ETC literally
that
didn't do
W?
anything.
What
And
was that?
the ETC said, "quote This is too much pressure. I can't handle it."
That was a misclick.
That was
That was not a
horrible.
miss. How many hundreds or thousands of times have you did power slide and this is the first time this is the one time that you misclick?
I
Yeah.
misclicked it. Look, I pressed the W instead of the Q. You can see that.
It's a standard French play. Nothing out the ordinary.
Cute afterwards.
Yeah, you never stood him once. You let him run up and run away.
I believed I put my life in his hands. There was like 16 coins there.
A lot of coins.
Yeah.
I got the
Yeah.
coins though.
That was really bad because
No,
you're
no,
a,
I
You
pressed
really
the
know
W
ETC.
W with ETC.
It was a miss.
Too much pressure, guys.
your pinky should have been hovering over Q the entire time when you were right clicking over.
You mean ring finger, right? Not pinky.
See, the thing is that, okay, this is what I'll say. In the background, everyone is shouting at me. Okay.
Of course.
man.
Save
To, like,
the day.
to get the power slide in, and I got too much pressure, and then I just buckled and pressed the W by accident.
Oh God.
All right, let's go to the real team fights spotlight.
Oh, we can analyze that a little bit more, actually.
All right.
Yeah, I know. When to press Q.
All right.
So this is a team fight. Blue is level 11, red is level 13, and this is Sky Temple, and everyone's on the left side Merc camp for the siege camp, and there's no boss. Boss is capped recently, so there's a team fight for mostly nothing. The red level 13 teams think they have an advantage, so they're trying to force the team fight to snowball that advantage. And red team is very ahead in buildings. You know, they have all their buildings. The enemy has only 2 keeps left, so red team is kind of over eager and trying to force and engage. And by the time the team fight starts, it's actually level 14. So the team fight happens. The enemy Alarak dives the backline, is able to disrupt. You know, this is like chaos everywhere. And what ends up happening is red team starts dying. Misplaced ultimates. The Hanzo got a really good dragon strike on 4 of the members, and a 4-man ETC from the enemy team seals the team fight. And the blue team is able to snowball this team fight into a victory in the end.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
You wanna play the video?
Yeah.
Tower, you were part of this fight, or Fringe, or Old Backpack? You want to
Fringe,
explain what's
everyone
going on?
Yeah.
It's all
Is this
of us are in this
Fight
fight.
gonna get played?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I see
Oh.
how this unfolds, please?
Oh, you guys should have told me. Oh, it's,
Oh, I thought you were just going to
Oh, sorry.
It's like all
Oh,
these people standing around.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay,
I can't
sorry.
remember all that.
No, sorry. Here's the video. Yeah, so I was doing the
this is-
play-by-play.
okay.
Yeah, my mistake.
Chasing back.
The- The Alaric dives the bat line, and Artanis's ultimate is really disruptive, and is able to keep the backline assassins distracted enough that the fight goes blue team's way. And that 4-man Dragon Strike really,
That pwn. Yeah.
and that mosh pit too.
That was over by then.
A little before then, yeah.
You all got hit by the Dragon Strike.
So my notes for this is like small micro mistakes over a team fight add up. That's my main point for this. And honestly, you guys really shouldn't have been here to force a team fight like this. You're ahead in levels. You can keep that level advantage by keeping soaking. And if you notice, there's a enemy merc camp like pushing the top fort. You could try to clear that because the objective is about to spawn soon. So spend a little bit of time splitting that, soaking, keeping your advantage up. Try to get to level 16 and fight over the objective to snowball that lead. But trying to force a team fight like this is how you throw a game.
Right. You.
All right.
I mean,
So
it looked good to begin with, but you guys got the early kill, so it was a 5v4. But everybody on the enemy team that was up besides Artanis, Alex Straza still had her ultimate, so did Hanzo and ETC. Those are all really big ultimates, and Alex Straza was in dragon form, which is basically pretty much another ultimate on top of that. And they're all full health when you guys weren't. To me, you should have backed up after the Alarak kill because you had nothing going for you to pursue another kill.
For me, the biggest thing right here is right now, the Sylvanas, the friendly Sylvanas is opening up with a mind control right in front of the ETC for the ETC just to knock away, right? And then the enemy Artanis opens up with the Purifier Beam, and it hits like 3 people and knocks them down to like 60% health. And then you guys force a team fight on top of that. I think that, like, right as soon as that Purifier Beam lands and Old Backpack is caught out of position, you guys just should have left. Like, leave Old Backpack to die, even. Leave the Arthas to die.
All right, so HeroPhysio, what do you think so far of what's been said and your takeaways?
It's really interesting. Bacon says back up because you're at level 13 to level 11. You got 2 keeps, or you got 1 keep down, 2 keeps remaining. There's a camp pushing up top. Wrong place to take a fight. That's the safe way to play. You're playing not to lose at that point, right? If you have that advantage, you should try to do something with it. And that was a good fight up until, the initiation, even if you go right back to the initiation, Sylvanas walking up out of position, of course. You are looking for mind control picks if that's what you're looking for. Ideally, you run them in and you Stukov swipe the rest of the team away, so you just insta-focus that takedown. If that's not the case, the rest of this fight, the way it plays out, Old Backpack, I think that's on Arthas there, does a good job taking 4 people's attention away while they blow up Alarak. After that happens, there's actually a really good sank here by Fringe. That's when they should have disengaged. They got the pick that they were looking for. That's a free temple. That's free wave clear. That's free map control again. But they decide to keep going back in, knowing that the dragons popped. Basically, when the dragon goes, you disengage. Unless you can instantly take somebody out, because Alex's healing is just too much. On the backside of that, because you know that ETC's Mosh is still up, the team positioning grouped up together, walked in together. They had to save 1 interrupt, and the only person who had that, sorry, my boy Lox, that's Loxley with the silence or the flailing swipe. So he's got to make sure that he's not caught in that Mosh no matter what happens, meaning he has to manage his distance the entire team fight, making sure that he's out of ETC's range. At the end of the team fight, I mean, they're just grouped up together. That was a good ult by Hanzo in a narrow choke point. Another reason that you don't want to be clumped up together. But that's all set up, again, because there was a nice sanctification, but they should have ran the other way already. At the end of this, I mean, they lose a lot here, but the game's still not over. They can recover off of the back of this. They probably get even, but there's still upkeeps after this fight. So even though they lose this team fight, I don't think they should necessarily lose the entire game off of it.
So would you recommend that doing that team fight was a good idea? I know you said earlier, but like if you were on comms, would you recommend even fighting there in the first place?
Yeah, look for a pick. They have 2-3 level lead right now. If not, they at least get the siege camp for free. Because the team doesn't want to fight. At the same time, this is a good comeback time for the blue team because every kill that they get is that much more experience. So honestly, the level 13 to level 11 talent difference isn't that large in scaling. So if I'm the blue team, I'm okay with taking a fight as long as it's on our terms and we get some kind of a trade. Even if it's 1-for-1, that's still favorable for them. They were going to lose the temples anyway, but if they can get some XP off of it, then they break off to soak. The longer they delay this too, yeah, that top camp is pushing. So blue team was looking for some sort of a fight here.
No, I agree. I agree with your analysis.
Yeah.
But I catered my take on the ability to execute based on my teammates, based on the teammates.
There we go.
So, after playing probably hundreds of games with the Gankbush squad and win timers, I usually tend to err, towards the safe side of play and just snowball safely because, I've thrown more games with them than I can count. So.
Wait. Where's the hey backpack, be aggressive person? Where'd he go?
Well, you started off aggressive, but the initiation you missed.
Well,
then you hung in the bush that was closer to their base, and you really forced something that you didn't have an advantage in that position. You were fighting in a narrow choke point where there were, a lot of narrow corridors, which opened up good opportunities for Mosh Pit and Hanzo's ult, which, I mean, that's ultimately what wiped you.
Well, most
you
of
guys are much better fighting in an open area.
Yeah.
Against that team.
So Bacon, I'll give you the coach answer to this. If you're trying to solo grind Hero League, it's much easier to take the safer option. Higher percentage, lower risk, more likely that the rest of your team will follow that safe call. In coordinated, if you're a team, if you guys are getting ready for Chair League, if you guys are getting ready for any other tournament, you want to play with those advantages. You want to practice that higher level of play and practice that execution until you actually get it. Otherwise, you'll never be able to push your 13 advantages. You'll never push your 16 advantages. You'll never find those win conditions because you're too used to playing safe, and you're going to allow other coordinated teams to take advantage, come back into the game, find some way to bring themselves back when you could have closed out the game. So there's definitely two ways to approach this.
No, I definitely agree. And usually the point of view I take when trying to give people advice is from the Hero League safe point kind of play style. So I'm not really a coordinated player because I don't really play much team league or chair league like that. So I don't have that much experience. So everything from my mouth is usually from a Hero League grind standpoint.
Yeah, and I think that's important to distinguish too, because people think Hero League is a much different game than the coordinated setting, and this kind of shows the different mentalities of the two.
Yep.
Who was the shot caller for the red team?
There was none, probably.
Yes, it was Tiro saying, "Let's do this."
No. That's hyperbole, and you know it.
It was probably old backpack.
Actually, no. Savannah started the mind control. We just want to steal the camp. That was Fringe says, "Get the camps." And
I noticed someone was hitting the camp, but then once someone was not on the same page with that.
Remember though, but our goal isn't to assess blame. It's not our goal here.
Whenever
It's
old
a team
backpack,
fight.
no, I'm not saying what. Whenever old backpack is the main tank, he starts talking like this, and he does like little short sentences and starts shout calling in this style. Have you guys noticed? Yeah.
The sank was early in that fight. It didn't negate anything.
Yeah.
And as soon as it ended, Hanzo ulted you guys and just wiped you.
I mean, whose decision was it to try to force a fight with the level advantage? That's what I'm not saying like who
I
made.
think the call was to get the camp, and then it snowballed into a fight.
Yeah,
Well, you guys already
always
had
get
the bottom keep down, so taking that camp isn't gonna be super important at that point. I don't think you're ever gonna get core pressure. I don't think the enemy team would let the camp push in that far, and you don't have to defend that bottom against the siege giants that much because you got catapults on your side to kind of even out that lane.
To be fair though, if we get the Alrak killed and just disengage,
Yeah.
we win the game.
Yeah.
I think.
And that was Hero's advice. You got the pick, now just leave and use sync if you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
and at the end of this fight, shrines spawned. If you didn't force that fight and cleared top lane and then fought over the shrines, and for me that would be a better option to take. If you want to get greedy on something, say, okay, we're not going to let you get either shrine. We want both shrines at that point, rather than forcing a fight in a narrow corridor right next to their base.
Yeah.
Well, essentially, once Lunara walks away and we all kind of stuck there fighting in 4v4, we lose because our damage leaves midway during the fight because she gets brought down to a 10% health from Artanis.
Yeah.
We should have backed up immediately after that happened.
Yep.
So in the communication phase of this match or this fight, you're saying Lunara should have just said, "Everyone back out. I'm too low."
That would have.
Yes.
Well, I didn't know Lunara was out of the fight.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't know. So
Yeah.
I'm talking about communication wise. Should we as a team just say, "Hey, I'm backing out." Like you guys may want to back out right now.
Yeah,
No, definitely. Like in the middle of team fight, we should leave. I'm low. Something like that.
Does that happen, Hero? Like with the scrims with your team? Does I know there's usually like a primary shot caller, right? Does on your team would the Lunara say I'm low health, back up?
Yeah, not even just playing with my team, but playing on a whole bunch of random unranked drafts, Hero League, Team League games with people where I just jump into comms. Comms are the biggest thing that people can improve on. Is even before this fight starts, trying to figure out what your intention is. How much do you want to get? Do we just want one pick? Are we looking for just the camp? And as soon as everyone's on the same page, then you know how much you're looking for. And then once you've gotten it, that's usually when you back out, or there's a follow-up call to say, keep going for more. So in this case, once you've gotten that Alarak pick, someone's got to say, keep going, to let everybody know that they're going to keep going.
Yeah.
Or if there is that disengage, we're low, somebody's out, that's enough, we back off. So anybody can make that call. It doesn't have to be your primary shot caller. If a key person is gone, a key member of the team is gone, the rest of the team should follow.
Okay.
So I noticed in the beginning of that fight too that someone hit the siege giants. I think it was Stukov. So it looked like he didn't know what you guys were trying to do either. So
Well, the goal was champ. That was our goal. And then a team fight started.
Yeah, it seemed like you guys didn't know what you were doing. Like you just team fight happened and you like, oh crap, we don't know what we're doing. We're just gonna play like individual players and not really like a team. It looks like.
And with what Hero said in terms of communication, we play often together in comms, and I think our collectively as a Gankbush squad, our biggest weakness as a whole is definitely communication.
Yep.
We suck ass at it. When we play together, it's definitely hindsight is 2020 bullshit. Like, why'd you do this? You should have done this, and then we talk about it for the next 4 minutes while the enemy's snowballing the game away. So
yeah,
we're all guilty of it. Some more than others. I'm not gonna name names, but
It's my favorite part of the game.
Oh God. Anyway, let's not make it about us. Let's.
but this is this. this is a team fight that the Gankbush did, and I definitely think I made it one of my biggest like things to keep working on, and I feel like I've gotten a little bit better, but
this fight is very typical, I think.
Yeah.
What it looks like looking back at it, where people are kind of not really sure if you're taking the camp or who you're going to focus, or when to disengage, or are you going for the pick and backing out. It's just all kind of random. And then at the end, like aftermath of the fight, you're just like, well, what the hell was that? And then you guys just don't know. But you don't want to say anything during the match, right? So I'm actually interested.
For instance,
after this, you guys say you lose the game, because I'm kind of with HeroPhysio that I think blue doesn't have such a huge advantage, but they do have a slight advantage even after getting destroyed. How did
blue
the
has
rest of
no
the game go?
advantage by the end of this team fight. If they get both towers, they're probably about even in level, and the red team still has the
Keep
key
advantage.
structure advantage, of having a keep down.
Yeah,
It's probably what happened was someone got tilted, or multiple people got tilted, and it snowballed.
well, every
That's
team fight
probably what
after
happened.
this, you guys ended up losing one way or another.
You guys could have just traded temples the rest of the game and came up easily.
that's what I was thinking.
If you traded the next temples, you would have had keep maybe, or had it gotten that middle keep very low. And, eventually at some point along trading temples, the enemy team's going to have to force a fight and come to you. And you could kind of pick where you want to fight on your own terms at that point.
Yeah, no, I agree. Again, that's the Hero League, right? As HeroPhysio said, that's the Hero League view, right? But if you're playing in a chair league or a competitive format, maybe it's better to force more engages to get better at it, right?
Yeah,
So,
but you got to kind of pick the engages that'll benefit you. The area you engaged was beneficial to the other team.
Yeah.
I guess the biggest lesson: know what you want, communicate as a team to get it.
Yeah,
Or
have everybody on the same page.
Yep.
And again, for those of you,
you put that in. If it's going south, you mention it.
So again, for those of you listening to the audio only, we'll post the clip on YouTube probably the following day or tomorrow, so you can watch along. All right, so moving on, let's do a draft analysis segment with Tara Baron.
Should I go over the setup while Bacon gets ready? This was from one of my Hero League matches, I think a week and a half ago. We had it set up for last week, but we didn't get to it. It's on Warhead Junction. Friendly team is Morales, Liork, Jaina, and Nubarak. The opposing team is Johanna, Thrall, Nazebo, Lili, and Li Ming.
Okay, so a brief little introduction. So everyone's going to give their own responses to their own level of play. So, for example, Tara Baron will speak to the bronze, silver type player, and I'll speak to the same. And Old Backpack will provide his plat level player perspective. We'll do Scott and Bacon for the master and grandmaster, and HeroPhysio will talk about from a HGC perspective. All right, so obviously, I think we all agree that there needs to be like some type of auto attacker. But HeroPhysio, how would you round out this team, the friendly team?
Probius.
Always Probius.
Yes.
All right.
You leaned into the mic to say
Yeah.
it's me.
Troll.
Moving on.
I'll save my answer to the end.
So basically, what you're saying is your team is going to be 8th place in the HGC in the upcoming season.
Holy shit.
But you know what? They'll be extremely confident and feel good after HeroPhysio's pep talks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But okay, so back on point. So I think obviously we all think the same thing, that you need some type of auto attack damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, not necessarily.
Oh, well, then what would you go with then?
So I'm going first. All right. Well, who I would go with is Hanzo, who isn't just strictly auto attack. Probably a lot of his damage is spell damage. He provides what I think the comp needs is range damage. He provides good wave clear for the map that's spread out. He's might be the best in the game at taking out bosses right now, because his scatter shot is ridiculous damage, and he's got very good poke against the enemy team. So, and he's got a solid engage tool with his stun to allow for follow-up with Jaina's Ring of Frost and the tanks to engage on.
And who do you think has the better team matchup? Like, which team would you want to be on?
I'll take the allied team with Hanzo.
Oh, snap. What do you, I mean, I think also in this segment too, we should kind of discuss like what's the goal of the whole team comp for the enemies and the allied team. Obviously, look like to me the enemy team is going more like pokey, for sure. And then with Hanzo, it looks like you're saying you want to go for more of a like burst damage, right? Or what?
Well, no, Hanzo provides a ton of poke as well. He's not just burst damage.
Do you
and
think
he's very good at clearing the map, at getting mercenary camps and to apply pressure on different areas of the map, as well as just being really good at team fighting.
But do you think maybe the enemy team has a better poke than the allied team?
No,
With
I think
Nazebo
Hanzo
and
can
Li
match
Ming,
Li
it looks-
Ming's. Especially on the middle, if you're fighting in the middle areas, there's a lot of walls for Hanzo to get scatter shots off of.
Now, what about? I was thinking like if you're in silver level, I think Chromie would be a really good fit here, because you have the better healer for more sustained poke, fights, right? And I think because of the Morales, and I think if you have a competent, Chromie player, that you could actually do more damage to everyone. Yeah.
Warhead's a bit rough.
Yeah, I don't know about that exactly. But I would go, if we're talking about the Silver League and stuff, I would actually go Falstad. It looks to me like this comp, since it's the big map, can maybe have an advantage in terms of the global or semi-global that Falstad has. And also, I think having a Nubarak on your team definitely is going Cocoon on maybe the Lily or the Johanna, maybe to kind of dive them more. I think Falstad is who I'd pick here.
It seems like if you go Falstad, you're just trying to out macro them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's who I'm thinking right now.
That's a viable strategy on Warhead Junction.
Yeah. So you could definitely do that for sure.
So if you notice, their pit potential is pretty bad. If Thrall shows on map, no one can gank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with Falstad, you have boss control.
Yep.
Points too.
All right, so Hero, what do you think?
All right, so looking at these two compositions, you have to consider the battleground and the size of the battleground. Warhead Junction. You guys think globals are the way to go? Something that you should think about when you fill out a team is the laning situation. Okay, so looking at the other team, they've got Li Ming, Lily, Nazebo, Thrall, and Johanna. You can make a pretty educated guess as to how they're going to fill out those lanes. Most of the time, Warhead Junction, you play either a 1-3-1, 1-1-3, or in some cases a 2-1-2, right? So knowing that they're going to split, most likely we'll say Thrall takes one, Nazebo takes one, and that you might be left with a three-man like Li Ming, Lily, and Johanna. What do you have so far? You've got Jaina, who can solo lane fairly well. She can match Nazebo anywhere. You've got Leoric, who's one of the better solo laners right now. And now you've got Morales and Anubarak. So pairing that with anybody who has auto attack, consistent siege damage will automatically win you a three-man lane. Anubarak can burrow in, soak shots with his beetles. After they clear the wave, they go ahead and start taking towers. So this could be anybody like Vala, Lunara, Zul'jin, even the Hanzo. The Hanzo is actually a really good pick overall, anywhere, but any auto attacker. And you can basically just walk into that three-man, walk into their two-man, and just start taking towers while your solo lanes are being held, right? You've got a solid Jaina for wave clear, doesn't lose the lane. She can poke out the nukes. You've got a solid Leoric in the other lane, and your three-man just face rolls the other lane. So I gave you like four options there. Yeah.
Okay.
I would
have said Greymane.
I was
saying
Greymane Vala as well.
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Yeah, any auto
Yeah,
attacker.
Greymane's always a good pick.
HeroPhysio, who do you think's got the edge? Obviously, I think you like the blue team. I think you said has a significant advantage.
I would definitely go with the blue team here.
Which team's the blue team?
Top team. Yeah, allied team.
Yeah, the allied. That's the Morales, the Leoric. I mean, with any auto attacker, you basically win the lane, so it's up to the enemy team now, the red team, to start figuring out how to respond to that. Do they just ignore your lane now? Do they go for their own mercenary camps? Do they go for their own boss pushes, split another lane? But you've already got that consistent fast clear. And if that's Greymane, if that's Vala, Lunara, you just start burning through all those towers.
So every time I see like a Jaina comp as the primary mage, I always think of burst comps. Is that like incorrect or?
Not necessarily. She definitely has the burst. You have the Anubarak set up on it as well. So you could definitely fill it out with somebody else who has more burst. But Vala, Greymane, Zul'jin, Hanzo, they all have burst damage follow-up. In addition to that consistent poke damage that has finishing potential too, right? They're all just really good assassins right now. Seeing the Jaina too, she's got a few different builds where she can actually build to be more of a, I guess, more consistent slow damage poke mage until she needs to go in for that burst. So I wouldn't consider her purely a burst mage. There's a couple other hidden synergies in here as well because you have the Jaina and because you have the Leoric. There are a lot of slows here, right? And even the Anubarak has acid drenched mandibles where even he becomes an auto attack beast. So pairing this with, again, Lunara, somebody with Executioner, you end up getting a big power spike at level 13, so you can start to play off of that, try to time a boss at level 13 so that you just do insane damage because the boss slows on top of it if you're taking a fight underneath the boss. So those are the kind of things that you start to think about. How do I help the team, but how does the team help some of my talents as well?
So I actually have just an overall question. Is drafting kind of like chess in that if you're the white player, you dictate the action of the gameplay? So, for example, if you're the first team drafting, you're dictating what the draft's going to be, and then it's up to the defending or the enemy team to adapt their team to what you're doing.
Absolutely. The draft itself, and then the execution of it, the gameplay of it too. I'm not giving anything away, but I talk a lot to my team about having initiative and forcing moves. If you play chess, if you play Go, if you play any kind of competitive game, you have to have enough initiative or enough of a threat to force a reaction from the other team. If I threaten your queen, but you threaten game, which one is the bigger threat? Who has the more initiative?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you're constantly making queen all the time, right? You're constantly making those propositions. I'm threatening to take this. What's your response? Right. And then it becomes a back and forth.
Okay. That's great for competitive, but how would that apply to Hero League? Because, you're only one pick, you're playing with 4 other strangers. And granted, if you're Master, Grandmaster, you definitely run into friendly faces more often than the other leagues. But still, you're only one pick and you're not on comms with 4 other players. How much can you influence a draft in that sense?
So last pick is the best pick, right? I think because you see everything, right? You can decide what you choose to deny or how you choose to put pressure on. Right now, you could take somebody who's fantastic at merc camps and all you do is take merc camps. You could choose somebody that is a stealth and just decides to hunt somebody down, right? You get to dictate what tools you bring and how you're going to put pressure on them. So if you decide to go Nova right now, honestly, that's not bad, right? Fringe thinks this is a burst comp. We have a Nubarak, Jaina. If Nova opens up on somebody, you might just get that pick. And that's how your team's going to win. But whatever you decide to bring to the table, you have to make sure that you're bringing some sort of initiative, some threat, something to the table that the enemy team either has to respond to or else you've picked something that they'll just ignore.
So would you say to stray away from, because one of the big advices that people receive in Hero League is pick your comfort heroes and just spam your comfort heroes, but that your line of advice kind of goes into pick a larger range of heroes, that way you're more flexible in draft, but that also means you're picking heroes that you're not that good with sometimes.
What I'll say is, if your goal is to rank up in Hero League, you should be practicing heroes that have certain skill sets that bring some sort of threat to the table, right? If you're grinding Hero League right now and you're maining something like Greymane Hanzo as ranged assassin, either way, you have team fight, you have poke, you have mercenary clear, right? Those are the heroes that bring a lot to the table, is the ones that have multiple skills and multiple ways to bring threats to a team composition, right? Those are the ones that are considered tier S, where they generally fit within most compositions and bring the most to the table. If your comfort pool consists of mostly, we'll call it tier 4, pocket pick, niche situational heroes, right, then maybe you should think about whether or not you're giving yourself the best chance or the best tools to rank up.
Was I the only one that noticed that when HeroPhysio said last pick is the best pick, that's completely the opposite in Hero League. Last pick is the worst pick because it means you usually have to be like
support.
The healer. Yeah, support.
I love being last pick. It's my favorite spot.
It's a little bit different in the higher levels.
But
Yeah.
but but for the enemy team, are they just trying to poke nonstop? Is that basically what their job is? What they were trying to do is just poke nonstop and have Johanna peel for them if there's any type of engage? Like, if you're the red team, what are you trying to do?
Win the game.
I mean, I actually had a question about that too with Johanna. Won't the blinds affect the lane at all if you pick an auto attack damager because of her blinds?
1.5 seconds. Not a long blind.
All right, so it's not that big of an effect. All right.
Nah.
Yeah, Lily's got to get pretty close for the blind too. For the most part, I don't think she's going to be in auto attack range. It's probably going to be Johanna who's going to be in auto attack range when you're during the laning phase.
And let's say between Lily and Johanna overlapping, I mean, like chaining together blinds, that's like, 3 seconds of blind? But how often are you going, okay, I'll blind now, and you blind in 4 seconds? Like, that shit never happens. So.
Okay.
Unless it happens in HGC, but, that's outside of our level.
Okay. All right. Well, anything else?
Wait, so who's the hero that was selected?
So who did Bacon suggest first?
You said Greymane or Vala.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those
would be my picks. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was really picked in this match was Sylvanas.
Ugh.
Interesting.
Interesting. I don't know.
Sylvanas could be good on that map.
It was all right
for the early game push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be okay. It's not ideal, but it's okay.
No problem that Sylvanas will lane versus Lily and they'll proc her trait constantly.
Oh. Well, shit. Fuck you, Silver 4 player. You've ruined it.
This was all about.
But then again, you just ignore the bad lanes and just push with your trait, and that's very effective.
I think it's
in the gold levels.
To be honest, I'd rather not know what the pick was. Because it doesn't really matter.
I like to know.
Okay.
Gotta know.
Did you end up winning?
I think we ended up winning. Yeah, winning.
All right.
Were you Leoric?
Stronger. Of course I was Leoric.
All right. I had to make sure. All right.
First of all, I don't lose with Leoric, so you shouldn't even ask if we won or not. But.
All right. All right. So let's move on. Thank you for all the good feedback. So let's move on to the first annual Bronze Baron Bushies, which are the anti awards or something, I guess.
The Razzies.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Razzie version of the Academy Awards.
It's the opposite of the Bushies, which is the good stuff. Now this is the bad stuff. Before we load into this, I was thinking, right? We have HeroPhysio on, and it's the Tower and Baron Awards. So how can I get this theme correct? And with that in mind, Let's get to it.
Oh my god. It's happening.
Nice. The bush.
Oh man, look at those eyes.
Intensity. The pleasantness.
All right.
Nice.
Saskatoon Fields.
Oh man,
The tower berries.
that's amazing.
The tower berries, I like it. Also, it's
Okay.
a giant phallus.
Oh, it's not phallic at all. What are you talking about? It's
That's
it's
awesome.
representing
Oh,
the
yeah.
Tower Baron and the Saskatoon berry fields. I don't
Oh,
know what are
yeah.
you guys
Oh,
what you
right.
guys are talking
There you
about.
That's right.
All right.
Full mass too.
Yeah,
That
it's a
thing.
pretty hard surface right there, right?
That's
Concrete.
the tower.
I
Stone.
like how there's like a little bush between the balls, between the
berries.
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 No,
Balls, not
berries.
balls, they're berries. The
Between the-
berries.
Well, it's
Yeah.
the berry bush, so it's
I don't
gotta.
know.
Those berries look a little bit dry.
oh
Ew.
Oh,
But they're also sweet, right?
god. Okay, so let's do this. So let's all right. So what was the worst hero that was released in 2017? So I guess I'll go first. Get everyone ready. So this is gonna be HeroPhysio will be really upset with this, but the worst hero released in 2017 was Probius.
Probius.
All right, so Backpack, do you say Probius as well?
Probius.
Okay. What about Tower Baron?
Valera.
Okay. What about Scott?
Probius.
Oh, you guys.
So HeroPhysio, you're last. What's the worst hero that was released in 2017?
All right, I went with slightly different criteria. I went worst like new release of a hero, just because I'm a big fan of all the heroes. They've tried to do something different, but of all the heroes, I think the one that got the least hype, the least kind of excitement behind it, I think was Cassia. She didn't get as much promotional material. Her skins were kind of there. Even Probius, there was so much excitement for a probe hero to enter the Nexus that people were excited to see how it came out. So is he the worst one? No, I think he's got a fantastic win rate. Cassia is going to be my pick for this one.
And also, as Bacon's putting up all the assets, I want to make this very clear. Overall, it was a really good year for Blizzard, and it was actually kind of hard to fill these out. So
Yeah, these
actually
are
the
just for
struggle-
fun.
Yeah,
To fuck around.
yeah. So again, overall, we all say that Blizzard had a really good year in 2017, and the hero releases were overall really good, and it's really hard actually to find like the worst of things. So, all right. So Bacon, what did you say?
I picked Valera.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Valera was my number 2.
Yeah,
So much hate out there when she came out. Everyone was just like, another stealth hero. Come on.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Yeah.
And
was
also,
just-
she was not really effective at all for a while, and then she got reworked, and now she's a pain in the ass for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, she was good
At all
but
levels.
People were complaining that she was able to just one-shot people, which was a valid complaint. But that was the
Yeah.
only thing. That was the only thing that made her viable, and she got nerfed, and that took away like all her viability.
All right, so I guess it's Probius, right? 3 versus.
What's the
Yeah,
what's your
we
case
have
for
to.
Probius? Where's your case for Probius? You can't just say Probius, we win.
No, just that he's like in the most 99% of circumstances he's useless.
That's not real.
No.
That's not true though. His win rate doesn't
Annoying.
reflect that. And Cassia,
Other than Brax's holdout,
Come on, Physio.
he's kind of no, like okay, go.
I will say this: Probius was played in competitive too, so there are some heroes that didn't even make it in. Probius did make it into HGC in EU on Battlefield, so he was played. He's good, great wave clear, can take mercs. He's super fun to run around with. The guy builds cannons. He has 2 viable heroics.
He's a more annoying Gazlo.
I think he has more damage than Gazlo, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's better than Gazlo, certainly. He's better than Gazlo, but I hate Gazlo.
Aether Hot says in chat, Cassie is probably the most forgotten hero. That might be true, but then again, when she's picked in the right circumstances, like she's the hard carry for the game.
Yeah,
that's true.
She's
I've never
a
thinking of
niche pick.
Cassius.
She's really good. She's just had the most underwhelming release, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but does that make it the worst? I think no.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the criteria is that how much of an impact did this character have? And I think Probius had the least impact.
Well, it wasn't
She
the
wasn't
impact. It's the fact that Probius's gameplay sucks. let me throw down this tower that auto attacks and I can't even control it. And it's going to do a lot of my damage. Like you already had Gazlo for that, but even now Gazlo can target what he hits.
Yep, that's
But
true.
does Gazlo have pylons that give shields?
And you play like
on top of throwing this tower down, you need a pylon next to it for it to work.
and you're playing a glass cannon playstyle of poking in and out, hoping that you don't get caught by a CC because you have 4 HP, and you definitely need to poke your head out so you can press your Q on the W's. And
we should do a game with HeroPhysio playing Probius and Scott playing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
I'm not saying that that Probius is ineffective. It's just really poor playstyle in my opinion. The kit sucks. It's not really
you can hook someone in, right?
Hey, hook Gorge into the Probius.
Hook Gorge into the Probius lay down. Done. That's it.
A lot of work.
All right, but anyway, so what do you guys wanted to conclude?
And my case for Valera right now is that 2.5 second stun. There is no other feeling of helplessness of just standing there and letting a Valera wail on you for that much time, and the only recourse you have is to auto attack the person, the Valera, and then she takes the talent that gives you blind after the silence. So it's like, fuck you.
No, like I totally agree. Like when she came out, whatever 6-7 months ago, I was the most vocal about this was complete BS to have this character in the game. But
she is,
she's toxic.
She's toxic, but she's also prevalent in the meta right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I chose her over Probius, because Probius was my number 2.
Well, all right. Well, I mean, I honestly do
Probius
not
number
care
2.
which one it is. I don't care.
Yeah, it's one of those two. That was my second pick.
What's your pick?
I love
Cassia's
Probius.
out.
But I can make a case for Valera too. I think Blizz actually put her in to teach squishies to stick with their tanks and their healers. So I think Valera was really good.
They don't do
teaching
shit
move.
like that.
No.
All they
Hey,
do, then they
You
just
might
say,
just
"Hey,
get
let's put a
silenced and
rogue.
die."
Let's put a World of Warcraft rogue in Heroes of the Storm and see how that goes."
All right. We'll just say Valera. Valera is the worst hero.
In honor of HeroPhysio.
I would say the Probius.
Okay.
Blizzard did a really good job on Valera, bringing out the feel of a World of Warcraft rogue with all her abilities and stuff.
Okay, so now we're going to do the worst rework of 2017. So the nominees are Nova, Samuro, Valera, Zeratul, Hammer, Leoric, Lili, Muradin, Zul'jin, Johanna, Morales, Chromie, Jaina, Zul, Malfurion, twice, Thrall, Alarak, Tyrande, Uther, Arthas, Murky, and Tassadar.
Damn,
You missed one, and it's my pick. It's Butcher.
Oh yeah, and Butcher.
Oh, yeah.
Butcher got a
It's
rework.
my pick.
Worst
Yeah.
rework?
Yep.
What?
They
That's right.
teased us for 2 weeks. They made him super good, and they took it away. I was so upset by that. So upset.
No,
Alright,
that's a
it's
good
gotta be-
rework that was nerfed. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that
That's a
was a
bad
good
rework.
rework. You're talking about balance adjustments here.
Yeah, he was a rework. I think it was a rework.
I think the worst rework for me was again, this is probably recency bias, but the Nova rework.
No,
So-
it's definitely
Nova,
Murky.
okay.
Murky was OP for a week. Then we went back to being
I thought of
trash.
Murky, I thought of
my
Murky
second
too.
pick. That was my
Murky
They
was
second
ruined
number,
it so
yeah,
hard.
Murky was number 2 for me.
Yeah.
So, but for me it was Nova because it just ruined quick match. So, and it ruined it. 'cause,
Nova was already ruining quick match for a long time before.
Yeah,
this
but I mean,
rework,
now she was like more viable though.
Yeah.
That's the bad
I
thing.
guess.
So.
Scott.
Muradin.
Oh,
My
course.
carried him Bill got ruined.
Oh,
Of course, yeah, that's right. There it
And I
is.
got nothing in return. His survivability's worse. Like his damage is worse.
Mm.
Got like a little bit more utility now.
So it's all about you, Scott.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like my pick is all about
You're
me.
voting on your personal opinion on Nova. I mean, I'm taking mine.
All right, HeroPhysio, what's your worst rework?
I'll preface this by saying I love all the reworks because they're trying to make them fit different rules and do different things with them. I'm gonna agree with Scott here. It's Muradin because
Oh.
after the entire rework and everything else, he lost his jump stun. Like with most of the other reworks, people gained things. Muradin just lost things through the rework, and it's true. You don't actually gain a lot back from that trade-off.
Wasn't that nerf specifically for pro play,
Yes.
Yeah,
right? Isn't that why they got rid of it because of pro play?
heavy impact.
Well, they got rid of it after the rework because of pro play, but having the heavy impact stun at 16, I don't think was an issue.
At 16, but at 7,
Yeah, yeah. at
that was
7, it
that was crazy.
And that's because of the rework, right? So that's
Yeah.
because of the rework. It was fine later on. They put it at 7, they made it early, and then they had to take it away. So, that kind of a rework where you move something intentionally, then have to get rid of it or revisit it. I mean, that shows that rework in the initial phase didn't turn out the way they thought it was.
Yeah, and how could they not have thought that level 7 stun talent combined with the level 16 cooldown reduction wouldn't be cancerous at all? Like that is goddamn. Like one game with them, like okay, this is overpowered. Every insta pick, fucking every time.
So, all right, so Bacon, you chose Tassadar.
Yeah.
Why?
They still haven't figured out Tassadar. How many times has he been touched throughout the years, and he's still completely overpowered in the meta, and especially in the higher level when it's carry enabler, or he's garbage.
That's
And
true.
they reworked him, and they touched all his numbers and reworked his shield on top of that rework, and it still didn't do anything. And now he's just picked sometimes because he's got, that Tassadar plays Tassadar often, and, is able to, put down good walls or whatever. But, or there's that, Tracer hard carry that always plays Tracer, and the Tassadar's, okay, I'll try Tassadar this game. That's the only time Tassadar's picked now. He's completely out of the meta. And if they're gonna touch his numbers, he's gonna be dominant in the meta again. There's no in between with Tassadar.
Yeah.
Don't you
I
like
loved
having a
his play
task list
pre
in-
rework. His reworked play kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
when the Archon at level 20 was infinite?
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
That was
times.
awesome.
Well, anyway, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever. How long will it take for us to find a consensus? I don't know.
So just have everyone vote for not their own first.
Yeah, that's what we did
So,
last
I'll
time.
vote for Muradin as not my own. That's also.
I think Butcher doesn't count because Butcher's
Oh.
rework was actually an improvement. They just nerfed
Yeah.
the rework a bit.
Yeah.
He's still
I
viable.
agree.
He's still
Yeah, he's
viable
not-
in certain situations.
No, but it's not as. Before you could just dive in, get some meat, and die, and it wouldn't matter, and it would be awesome because you'd finish your quest at level 8, and then you
Yeah,
could
and that's
just
a
dominate.
dumbass playstyle.
No.
Yeah, that's bad.
If you're not
gameplay.
Butcher,
Let me kamikaze the entire game and still be effective. How is that good
Yeah.
gameplay?
All right. So I would vote for Muradin as my not pick.
Mhm.
I'd vote for Murky.
Murky.
I'd
huh?
vote for Tassadar.
Yeah, I like the Nova and the Mercury reworks.
Oh.
And I guess Tastar, just because they haven't really quite settled him into a really good spot yet.
It's Muradin. We're gonna move on. It's Muradin.
Okay.
Hey.
Wow. I didn't think I'd win that.
I didn't think so either,
Okay.
but
Yeah, me neither. But
You
I
changed
mean-
everyone's mind.
yeah,
I think I think both Tested or Muradin are good picks, but yeah, since Muradin was so, like, he was like top tank in the meta before the rework, and now he's just kind of there, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it was at the top before the rework. He was coming up, but like for the summer, about like 3 months before he got reworked, he was pretty low key. That's when I busted out the Keratin build.
Aether Hots is in chat, like trying to tilt hero.
yeah, I see that. I'm watching that too.
Yeah,
All right,
but
let's move on. Let's move on.
Muradin is our pick.
yeah.
All right.
All right. So not lastly, we have 2 more left. So which character? It could be any character at all, but what character tilts you the most, or tilted you the most in Hero League drafts? So for me, playing at the silver level, that is Nova. So
I'm sensing a theme.
So let's
Nova
let's-
hate.
What does Tower Brand say?
Cho'Gall.
Hero League, Dan?
Cho'Gall.
Yeah, it
You're
is
talking
coming
about
out
like
in Hero
1 or
League.
2 games?
Yeah, and I've
you're talking
gotten
about
super
one game
pissed.
that had-
I'm like, this game is trash now. I'm just gonna waste my
All right.
time.
That's a wasted pick by Tower Brand. But let's go to our Hero Physio. Who's what character, if any, tilted you the most in Hero League, if at all?
None that I ever go up against, because I like playing against all the weird comps. I like figuring out what's good, what's not. I think I'm the more tilting one when I pick Probius on my team.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. Probius. All right.
Don't get tilted. Tilt other people.
All right.
That's what I learned.
Oh shit.
That's a show. That's a show title. All right. Let's go to Scott.
Murky.
Okay. Let's go to Old Backpack.
Sylvanas.
Oh.
Oh, Sylvanas, interesting.
She's
All
up
right.
there.
So,
Top 5.
I vote to remove Cho'Gall immediately.
No, it's tilting though.
No, it's tilting.
It's happened to me
I
too.
even have people just like hover over him and I get pissed. Not even
Yeah,
selecting
me
them.
too. I get
They're like
that.
they're showing Cho'Gall or Cho'Gall or whatever. I'm like, no. And then they
And
get
then
flamed
they-
yeah,
out.
we're doing it.
They get
And then
flamed
there's
really hard,
also
and that makes me
that
wanna pick
one
more.
support man going, "Oh, okay, guys, I'll pick Ario. This is still meta from 6 months ago, right?" No, she can't heal worth shit anymore with Cho'Gall. It's 4-second cooldown.
And so for those of you who can't see, Bacon shows Medivh.
Yeah,
Which I find very, because Medivh is really good, right? Theoretically, at the Grandmaster master level.
if it's an
He's
HGC
decent.
player, yes, but outside of them, it's just like it's the same shit. I'll be a good midi if I'll carry the team, guys, and then he ends up doing nothing. Hey, here's a portal. Oh, I'll take the portal into a boss stun. Congratulations, you're dead.
All right.
Hey,
well,
how about I fucking use my leyline seal and a body block seal around you so you can't move for 3 seconds? That shit happens too.
all right. So let's everyone vote for someone that's not yours. Okay. So I'll vote for Sylvanas.
Domo variant. Yeah, he plays Medivh too. Shit. I've played with him a couple times. Sorry. What? You guys are
I'm
what?
surprised no one picked Illidan.
Vote for not your own.
Illidan in Hero League, huh? No?
Vote for not your own pick.
All right.
Well, I think
Starbird.
just removes Cho'Gall right away.
Oh, what the?
I'd say Cho'Gall's more viable than Nova for me as getting tilted.
Oh, maybe Cho'Gall could be it.
Interesting.
Like if the
What-
enemy team last picks Cho'Gall and you have like one counter and like you need like a you need like a healer, so you can't counter them.
Yeah.
Like it's just like fuck, man, we already lost. We can't deal with this.
What's your case? What's your case for Sylvanas? Old backpack.
People love playing her for no reason, even in the wrong maps and the wrong comps. Like I've seen Sylvanas's
Cursed
like-
Hollow.
Cursed Hollow. Yes, exactly. Cursed Hollow. Or
I'm
even,
gonna
even
trait
Temple.
the shit out of this curse.
Yeah. Exactly. Like people say,
That-
I'm a great Sylvanas. Like you press W and spam Q. That's all you do. We all do the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? The skill tap's really low.
Yeah, and
no, there's some good Sylvanas.
at silver
There are
level,
some, but
though,
not.
at silver level, they're always
Overthink.
like in a lane by themselves, and then they get ganked a lot. That's what happens
Yeah.
at silver level.
Too squishy to
So
But everyone is so passionate. They're the best Sylvanas. Like everyone says that.
well,
I gotta go Sylvanas too.
I voted for Sylvanas as well.
I'm gonna vote for Murky, just because all the other ones you can still kind of play your game. With Murky, you're forced to play like a 4-1 or so much differently. you can't really team fight anymore unless the Murky is like godlike and really good and shows up to team fights. So I'll go with Murky.
I think
Yeah. Go ahead.
Probius, Murky, and Cho'Gall, those three heroes are kind of like the classic tilt of you see it in draft, you're like, oh, this game's over already. But Sylvanas is the slow drip, death of 1,000 cuts kind of tilt. Like, oh, there goes Sylvanas throwing out E and getting stunned and not able to use it, and then he's dead. And then there goes Sylvanas not in position or not pushing with the Immortal, so the Immortal dies without doing any fort damage.
Yes, that too.
Yeah, I think the thing is with the other three, Probius, Murky, and Cho'Gall, your expectation's really low, so you're not really that pissed during the game because you know your expectation's
Yeah.
low. So Blanche's like, oh, maybe she'll be good, maybe. Like, no.
And she's maybe if we're winning, we'll win more. No, usually we're losing and we lose more.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
getting camped
Hey,
right now.
hey, let me mind control this guy right in front of the enemy ETC. I'm not calling. I'm not calling out that person just to make the joke.
Yeah, you are.
I'm
You
just,
did. You
I'm just
called
making the
it out
joke. I'm just making the joke.
All right, so I guess it's either gonna we can say Sylvanas for the entire game, and we can say like Cho'Gall or Murky for the draft.
Yeah.
How about that?
Three-way tie.
Sounds good.
Three-way.
What was it?
So
Four-way. It's a four-way tie actually. Because it's two
Yeah, there's
people.
two heads.
all right, so for the gameplay is Sylvanas, but for the draft it's either Cho'Gall or Murky. So there you go.
Well,
For those of you counting at home,
I'd say Cho'Gall
yeah.
because the
Yeah.
two deaths, two deaths
Yeah,
for
but,
one.
So no one really wins with this category anyway. So
I guess.
let's move on.
All
All right. So lastly, all right. So what was the worst overall hero of 2017? And for me, it's Valera. It's not even close. But
Valera.
yeah, let's go to Scott.
Worst?
The worst hero.
Old backpack Valera.
Valera.
It's not the worst release. It could be any hero, right?
Hero.
Yeah. Hero.
The worst hero of the game.
Yeah, Murky. I don't like him. I don't like playing with him, playing against him. He's just. I don't like that play style.
So HeroPhysio, what was your worst character in 2017?
Hardest category. Come back to me. Come back.
All right, let's go to Tire Baron.
Probius.
Oh. All right, let's go to Bacon.
Probius.
Rainer.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
You guys didn't pick Rainer? Rainer
No.
is ass.
Yeah.
He's a generic introductory character. He's the
does
noob
something.
friendly character.
Yeah.
He's got his role.
He can fit in with other comps. That's the thing. That's what.
But he's
I
so
mean,
bad. at what he does.
Probius, Murky. It's like you have to change up everything to accommodate.
All right, so HeroPhysio.
I don't know. I'm a big fan of Rainer. I'll say Chen just because he doesn't get played a lot.
What? Chen?
Yeah.
I still play him. I think he's great. I think he's fantastic.
You play all the troll characters though.
He's a troll.
Chen's pretty bad right now.
Yeah, he's a
He's
furry
really
troll.
bad. Really bad.
What does the chat say? Do we have anything on chat? What the?
Moxley said his vote. The worst overall hero is Physio.
Oh, nice. And
He'll get
Soken-
the honorary award.
yeah, so Soken
Yeah.
or No Name says it's in every award. But all right, so Soken No Name votes for Valera. So FYI. So there you go.
Well, like Valera, she was so toxic. Then she was so shitty. Now she's toxic again. She's never had a comfortable place in the game. I've always hated her. In every
There
point
was that
this,
period
her
of
release.
4 months where she was like kind of quiet before the rework.
Mhm.
Now, she got a couple of
Yeah.
nerfs and that didn't really do that kind of threw her out of the meta, and then she was quiet and then now she's toxic as hell, obviously. But it's only been a couple weeks, like 2 to 3 weeks. Now, I guess I'll take Raynor out because I do agree he's the beginner hero. So whatever, fine, okay.
The
Raynor's
problem
out.
I have,
He's
the problem I
bad.
have with the Valera is her play style. That's the
Mm-hmm.
thing. If you're Nova, you can, you're shooting from afar. If you're Zeratul, you have to, you can get CC'd and stuff like that. But with Valera, you're just walking around, you're stunned and you're dead.
Now there's counterplay because you can see the shadow, but
Yeah.
for Probius,
Okay,
we all
They had
agree
that- they implemented that like 3 weeks ago. What about the other like 11 months of her shittiness?
Yeah.
She was bad. Why you're
Yeah,
when
she was
comes
bad.
out, you're not dying. What was your issue? She couldn't kill you.
Got buffed though.
This current Valera toxicness was for like the first 2 weeks of her release and the last 2 weeks. The other like 7 months, she was kind of nothing. And
I don't think we didn't need a character like this in the game. That's basically it. We don't need this.
I'm backing up Probius because
Oh.
he was this playstyle for the entirety of his release.
He was.
And
Yeah, that's
shitty,
the intent.
not part of the meta, all right? Silent the entire way. Everyone hates him. Doesn't fit the lore, right? And there's people like fucking HeroPhysio that are diehard Probius mains that ruin the game for everyone else.
Wait, we usually win those
There's-
games. But you know what? Those
there's-
are really good arguments. Those are good arguments.
There's something to be said that Probius and Valera have been in almost every single category here, but Valera currently, it's only a short time frame that she's been this toxic, but Probius has been shitty this entire time.
It's a
I should
lifestyle.
call him Pubius again.
Probius.
Yes, Probius the lifestyle. The biggest thing is it so doesn't hit the Protoss theme. Like, okay, you give him pylon, you give him a cannon. Okay, that's Probius, or that's a Protoss playstyle. Not really. There's a lot more to Protoss than just those two buildings.
Yeah, where's the gateway where you just
Yeah.
start summoning like zealots or something?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I
Warp
think we
him in.
talked about that when he first came out. Like, where's the warp gate? The warp gate.
Warp your team in from anywhere on the map. That'd be really cool.
This is why we
Asmodee
designated
has it.
Probius as Pubius, because
Mm-hmm.
like granted HeroPhysio and Schizo and the guy who actually play Probius, they're good with Probius, but it's such a shitty dick playstyle that we call him Pubius the
Yeah.
Pubius
Nobody
the
wants
dick
to play with you
adjacent
or
probe.
against you.
Yeah.
You're like a leper.
You're a leper with a gun. You can still kill people in the game, but no one wants to be next to you.
No matter how well you play, everybody's lost respect for you.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm good with either Valera or Probius, to be honest.
I think Bacon just convinced me into a Probius stall.
Yeah. Disappointing character, like we said.
All right. Well, let's
Valera's
make.
that bad. You guys are overrating her toxicity.
Well, you should play at the bronze and silver and low gold.
If
and
you're a
see how it feels.
squishy player, don't run around by yourself. Valera's not that big an issue then.
Yeah.
It hasn't been in my games. Like, you can actually see her coming. That's the biggest thing. Is that
Yeah.
like she's not that hard to see anymore.
All right. So there you go. So Probius is the worst hero. Yes.
Okay. Now we've already chosen Probius, but Enderwigan in chat is making a case for Garrosh. Garrosh was worse to play against or with, was banned for most of his release until the rework. What would you guys say to that?
Actually, that's a good point. But like, I know how to play against Garrosh. I don't like. I mean, I know how to like avoid him and make him, less
Yeah.
effective.
I mean, with the with me and old backpack, we just go Tyrael and ETC and just kill the shit out of their team. So, I never had an issue with Garrosh actually.
Yeah, I was okay with him.
Yeah, just Tyrael.
Yeah.
Go Q build with Tyrael and go ETC and just dive the shit out of them. and you're good.
Hmm.
But I can see why he was hated by everyone for a very long time, so I get that.
I don't think he was hated. It's just more like of an annoyance. Like, okay, first ban. All right, it's Garrosh. Don't even think about it. You know?
Yeah. That's where Valyria is now, but we hate Valyria more so.
Yeah. So
anyway, Probius,
that
congratulations.
Yes.
You're the worst
yeah.
1-0 hero.
Ah.
You get the tip of the wiener. I mean, the tower.
Wiener.
It's the tower.
No, it's not a wiener.
All right, so
it's like a little eye at the.
Yeah, like the Lord
Oh,
of the
shit.
Rings.
yeah.
Oh, it's Sauron.
Oh man,
So bad.
Salamon or Sauron. All right, so that concludes the tower berries. Is that what they're called?
The
Tower berries.
the tower berries, yeah.
All right, so that's the tower berries. First one ever. All right.
And I thank Hero for letting me do that and agreeing to be on the show. And I thank Saskatchewan, the province, for existing, I guess.
It's our honor, really.
All right. So briefly, we got a new iTunes review. This is from DT Smith #1, whoever that is. Drew Mart. I don't know who Drew Mart is. But anyway,
He's been in the Win Time channel.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't talked to him yet. But anyway, so this is what he said for iTunes. This is a great podcast. Have played with multiple of the co-hosts, not me, obviously, and had a great time. Anytime you need a new bronze type guest, now that Terrabrand has moved to silver, let me know. He's actually still a bronze type. But anyway, it's great information on the state of the game. Drew Mart. All right. Thank you, Drew. Or Marty Drew. Thank you for that.
Oh, by the
Okay,
way, should we go
yeah.
over the categories real quick? Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
for the
Summary.
Oh yeah,
summary.
to recap, the worst hero of the worst released hero was Valyria. The worst rework for 2017 was Murden. The most tilting pick in Hero League is a mix between Chilgal Murky and during the game it's Sylvanas. And the worst overall hero was Probius.
Also,
there you
most
Still
forgotten,
shaking.
Cassia.
Hero is still shaking his head with that.
All right, so we actually got a couple email questions, so let's do this. So Gizmo asked, do you think that the regen globe talents should be reworked with the new globe system? I think we all agree with that, right?
It's been done. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, another email we got from.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, what?
What do you mean it's been done?
It hasn't
The
been done.
globes. Yeah, they
No.
heal for less now.
Yeah, but like
No, you're talking about the talents. Like you need like 30 to
Oh,
get
okay,
the
that thing.
progression.
I see. How many?
The quest.
How many you
The
need?
questing talents.
Yeah, I think we all agree that it should be upped, right?
No, it shouldn't.
Okay.
I
Hero,
think
what
it
do you
should.
think? Is
This
30 enough,
depends.
or should it be 35? Or
I think it's still okay. They need to figure out how many regen globes people are getting right now. I think they have that data about how many globes on average people are getting, and right now it is slightly more. So people are just completing their quests a little bit early on. Is that a big enough deal? I don't think it is, because even if you're catching 2 globes consistently, it means you're doing extremely well. You're going to win the game anyway, right? So you're just going to get your power spike a little bit early on. If you're trading even, there's no difference. You're still getting that globe at about the same time. If you're losing and you took this regen globe talent, now you've gotten the short end of the stick, right? You made a gamble that said, I'm going to take this quest talent for a future power spike, and you gambled wrong. So I think that's okay. That, if you're winning and you're banking on it, you play well, you get rewarded. If you don't play well, you don't get your talent.
Also, getting 30 globes for a regen master never happened before this patch. Like getting 30 was impossible.
What? I guess I'm more focused about ETC's prog rock. That only requires 20.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah. You spiked a bit sooner, but
Okay.
yeah, I'm okay with it.
All right. Well, maybe not. Maybe the regen or the regen globe talents system is good.
I mean, it feels faster, but how much is it actually? We don't really know that.
All right. Anything else on that?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
So we've got another question. He had a Chad foot real for trail betrayal. Chad Betrayal. Anyway,
Fringe reading, everyone.
no.
reading.
How do you pronounce his name?
What-
You give me shit.
stream for
How do you
this.
pronounce his name? Pronounce his name.
Would you like me to read it? I'll read it for you.
No, I can read it. Pronounce
Okay,
his name, old backpack. You want to give me shit? Pronounce his name.
Who was it, guy? Chad Futrell.
All right, there you go. All right, so he had a drafting question. So he said in drafts, I've gotten good at filling in late picks in drafts and knowing how to fill out a team comp. But one thing I'm very bad is at being the first pick. What are some characters or heroes you guys think are good first picks that are not easy to counter?
Rain.
Rhaegars,
Vala.
ETCs.
Rhaegar's not the good anymore.
Yeah, Rhaegar's not a good first pick.
He's okay. I mean, he's never wrong. He's okay.
He's wrong now. He's
You're
wrong
better
now.
off with Lucio. First pick
You
for
could-
hero.
Yeah.
You can
Okay.
also try to go for like what character is this, map specific picks. So, like he's not really in the meta anymore, but a classic example of, Blackheart's Bay, maybe we should pick a Zool comp or maybe Chromie for Tomb of the Spider Queen or Towers of Doom.
Zebo for Tomb.
Yeah.
Hanzo
Yeah.
BOE.
Yep.
Or Vala.
Yeah.
Basically, I guess the generic recommendation is just pick a character that can fit into everything.
Lucio. That's funny. All right.
Yeah, I thought usually you want some sort of sustained damage so that can kind of work into anything.
I think the one character that fits every map is Greymane. Like,
Yeah.
I can't think of a map where he's not viable in.
ETC is
Sonya.
pretty, I think, strong too. He almost fits in anything.
Well, ETC can get countered pretty heavily though.
You can get countered
but-
pretty heavily, but he's always kind of a solid pick. I don't see him
Yeah.
being like really a detriment.
Yeah, I
when you
think.
pick him.
I think you're right about that. I think for the most part, ETC for tanks, Greymane for assassins, and Lucio for support. Those are the three that I say right now, especially at the gold and lower. Those are the three that you should be good with.
Yep.
What does the HeroPhysio say?
Those are actually pretty good recommendations. I think every hero has a win rate and every hero has a counter. So,
Also,
picking
every
heroes
hero
that aren't,
has buttons.
every hero has Q, a
Yeah,
W, and
every
an
hero
E.
has talents.
Usually by round 10, they get an R button too.
Yeah. Oh, damn. I didn't know about that one.
You gotta
But
wait a
do
while.
most heroes have a physio?
Every hero is a hero. HeroPhysio.
Unless you're a probe, then you're just a probe.
Yeah, I think you just want to pick generic characters. These are those S tier characters that you don't need your team to play any differently, right? There's kind of a generic mentality of we're going to team fight, we're going to show up to objectives. As soon as you pick heroes that require you to do something different, it's far easier to counter you or to counter the entire team because you've gone off the script. So
Yeah. And also to piggyback off that, if you're playing Hero League, specifically only Hero League, if you pick for example, Murky, right? Suppose it's Garden of Terror. Murky's actually that's like the only map that he's actually viable in, right? The problem is that if you're playing Hero League, you're requiring the knowledge of the other four people at the draft, a 4-man comp, to support the Murky play, right? And that doesn't happen. Even even on comms sometimes, you have to draft a specific team, for like these niche picks. So don't do that.
So
Yeah,
what
but-
tilting, you
and
say?
even if you're like, even if you believe that you can play that niche pick, you gotta learn how to shot call that pick too, because if you're Murky, you have to dictate to the team, I'm Murky, I'm doing this and that. So for the next 2 minutes, let's try to go for this, and that way your friendly team is not going 4v5 and starting to blame you because they're losing the game because of that, when they should have been following your directions that you've been giving them.
Yeah. Even if even I would say if you're in gold, right? Even if you're like a Medivh player and you're like just as good as Glaurung or ADRD, you still shouldn't go Medivh because you have to have so much coordination and you have to convince everyone from not getting. You have to convince everyone not to get tilted by the Medivh pick, for example. So it's just not worth it not until you get to the higher levels.
You got to convince people to hop in the portal that's right on top of them. That's going to save their life.
Yeah, Fringe. Use those portals.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Or there's also like things like Lucio, you're using amp it up movement speed, and then they stop and start like mount animation. Like, bitch, just move. You're 10% HP. Like, you're 140% movement speed right now. Just move your ass. God damn. But anyway, some people need to learn that.
One more first pick, Leoric, because he's just the best character.
No.
Moving on.
Sonya is a better role than Leoric.
Also, okay. What would you guys say to like good solo laners too, like Malthael, Thrall, or
Sonya,
like
even Rad's good right now.
Like we should on Tower Baron's Leo pick, but what do you guys think about Leo? Like for that solo lane?
I think he's fine.
Sonya's the only one who's viable in a first pick, in my opinion. The others are viable solo laners, but they're not going to fit necessarily into any comp, and they're more easily counterable.
Yeah. I will say at the gold and lower, especially like the low gold, that Ragnaros is a fine pick just for the lava wave. So
I've just seen like I've been watching Old Gods Airho stream a little bit, and he plays a lot of Leoric, and he first picks, last picks, third picks. Like if he's picking fucking Leoric. And I was just wondering.
And it works?
Oh yeah, he destroyed me.
Yeah. No, I think Leoric is still very good. I don't think he's first pick worthy though.
Well, just Sonya.
You were Bacon just said is if you're good enough, he's first pick.
Yeah, how many people are good enough?
If you're good enough, that's not even him being good enough. That's a pro player saying, "I'm playing Hero League to practice. I'm going to practice this hero." Yeah. He's not. He doesn't care.
And stomp on amateur Koreans. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, if you're good enough,
you can pick any hero first.
You can even play Probius, even maybe. I don't know though. Probius is kind of shitty.
Probius is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway. All right. So that's our show. We have a show. We have a short show this week. So.
Should we? I know we want to like talk about the patch like next week, but do we want to give our quick impressions on Blaze, and just?
All right. You have. All right. Go ahead, Bacon. You have less than 2 minutes.
I mean, I like Blaze. He's pretty cool.
Also,
yeah, go ahead.
We've got some things wrong with our math because the math of the Storm guy got mad at us.
He didn't get mad at us. He just pointed it out.
Okay.
But
sorry, I apologize.
He's a really cool guy. Whenever he has something to say, he just like messages me, like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know that," or he just sends me bits of information here and there. But definitely check out his Reddit post whenever he uploads to like Team Liquid or TempleStorm.com. I don't know what website he uploads to now, but Math of the Storm, and then whenever new patches or content comes out, he like dissects the math for it, so you can make better decisions for your gameplay. But basically, we said last show his E, which is his charge, was around 5.5 range, and he said it's 10, but Scott disagrees. He said it's about 9.
And for the math guy, Scott got a degree in math, so his math is pretty good.
Oh, it's math versus math. So
yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Either way, it's 9 or 10, basically.
It's around there.
Bigger than what we said last week.
Yeah.
And his auto attack range. Yeah. His auto attack range is actually 0.5 longer than Cassia. Cassia has 4. He has 5. 4.5. Sorry.
Yeah, I said that last week. I don't play Cassia. I knew her attack range was shorter. I thought it was 4.5 though. Zarya's is 4.5, so it's the same as Zarya's auto attack range.
And Diva is 4?
Diva is like 3.8 or 3.9.
Okay.
Yeah, but she shoots beyond her targeting, because of the animation box thingy. It's weird like that. But I played maybe 7-8 games of Blaze. I won every single one of them, but it was like a 5-stack and quit match, so that's kind of like, take that as you will. He has been really low on Hero League, and that really surprised me. And I'm just wondering like what's going on, because I felt like he was really strong. He has great engage, significant crowd control if you take that oil spill talent, that, you know, the one that still slows when you burn the oil. For 30% movement speed. If you take that one, he has a lot of self-healing. He has armor, good damage. I was like #1 damage in a lot of those games. Like, I'm just really surprised that he was debuting so low in Hero League.
I think a lot of people are picking him to solo tank, and as I said last week, I think he's going to be much better at the bruiser solo laner role.
Yeah, when I saw his
oil.
Yeah. When I saw his kit, I just saw Bruiser. I didn't think of main tank at all.
Yeah.
Oh, that was also one of the Chaos OS's points. He's like, how can you guys think he was a bruiser? But, I mean, he's a
got
tank
awesome
that
wave
does
clear, and his
he's a
engage
tank
is
that
kind of
does bruiser
telegraphed.
levels of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, his damage is actually pretty solid, and his
Also,
engage is fairly telegraphed.
Yeah, and he self-heals really effectively, and he wave clears effectively, as are all the typical bruiser solo lane qualities.
HeroPhysio. Will LFM use him as a bruiser?
Definitely not in the first week.
Because he's not available to play in the first week.
Hey.
Boom.
Good answer.
No leaks. How good is Lucio? Can you actually tell us that?
Can you confirm Caldor's tweet that Lucio is good?
I don't have the spreadsheet confirming this.
Yeah. All right. But anyway, so there you go. We didn't have time this week to do the live changes, but we wanted to focus more on the stuff that actually can help you get better in the short term. So
also, I think we definitely want to digest the patch more, because it's significant changes to the game too, right?
Yeah, we'll come back. We'll revisit the live changes next week for sure. But
it is significantly different.
So let's go to Tower Baron.
And that's our show. And we'll see you in the Nexus.
Hey, hold on. Scott dropped. All right, that messes up the
once you heard me
camera.
talking, like that's it.
He's just out. I'm done.
Yeah, he's like, we're done. Peace out.
I gotta take a match.
But Hero, where can the people find you, man? Thanks for being on the show.
Well, thanks for having me again.
Apologize.
Yeah.
Always a good time. You guys know where to find me. I'm actually always hanging out in the Windtimer Discord now, so I hang out with those guys.
Yes.
But everything's at HeroPhysio. Maybe one day I'll boot up the stream again. You might find me there, but definitely follow Twitter. I retweet a lot of Hero stuff and talk about some Hero stuff on there too.
So what's your Twitter handle?
Always at HeroPhysio.
Oh, look at you. You should trademark that.
And you coach a team. What's going on with that? What's the team name? And give us some juicy deets.
They're at
Who has the longest penis?
You can follow all those guys. I was not at the Players Summit, so I wasn't there when they all measured.
I don't want to know the details, but did they tell you what happened?
I have no idea. I don't think they're allowed to talk about it. They had a lot of fun. They had a good time. I think they're all really excited. So you can follow all those guys. There's LFM Twitter, and you'll find all the players there. That's Draded, T, Figgy, Swabs, and Aware.
And I've been following Swabs for like the past 2 open seasons, and definitely feels good that he made it in. Like, the way he made it in was kind of, shady, but at least he's in now, baby, right?
Hey, we in it.
All that matters is that
shady wasn't the right word. Is he didn't get in
loophole?
a loophole way, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
hey,
I'm
he's
so
in. That's all that matters.
Glad for him.
Yeah. Now the hardest part, or the next step, is making sure they stay. So at the Crucible, that they can not go to that, right? Is that what that is? The Crucible. Anyway,
I don't know what that is anymore.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck to. I'm sure I'll talk to HeroPhysio in the next 48 hours. But good luck, and good luck with your team in a couple weeks. And thank you again for lowering your standards for the third or fourth time. And we'll go to Tara Baron.
And that's our show, and we'll see you in the Nexus.
Ah,
Well
boom.
done.
There it is. On point.
Yeah, everyone blow ASAP. Now go. Jesus, bro.
He missed it! Last one was so much better.
He missed it!
That's the outro. That's the outro. That's the outro. We're good.
The miss on this stage.